All right, welcome back everybody. My name's Austin. We are facing a massive liquidity crisis in Bitcoin right now, meaning that there's just not enough Bitcoin in existence to meet the demand, and the price is being pushed up. Bitcoin's liquidity continues its downward trajectory. Year-to-date balance on exchanges is negative 18%. This is something we've reported on in the last week, and it's not getting better. In fact, it's getting more severe, pushing the price up. This is a huge difference fundamentally between Bitcoin and gold, because with gold supply expands with demand. Bitcoin supply does not. So meaning that when you need more gold, it may take a minute, you may need to put some money into it, but you can mine more gold if/when you need it to meet that demand. As opposed to Bitcoin, that number is fixed. It is baked into the protocol, and in fact, we don't get more over time. The Bitcoin supply coming into the ecosystem gets halved every 4 years, creating that supply shock. Zooming into this year, right on track, for the third time ever, that supply got cut in half, and that supply shock hit the market. And since then, demand has only continued to grow. Let's get down to it. The big question is, who is continuing to buy right now? And the bigger question, how come we can't just mine more? You can mine more gold. You can't mine more Bitcoin? Well, if we look at hash rate, more and more people are trying to mine more Bitcoin. The amount of hashing power right now attempting to mine each Bitcoin block is near all-time highs. But that's the beauty of Bitcoin mining. It's self-adjusting. A block is mined roughly every 10 minutes, and if more people come on the network, that difficulty adjusts higher. If less people come on the network, that difficulty adjusts out. So whether you have a few people mining or 1 million people mining, that difficulty will self-adjust. So how many Bitcoins are mined every day? Well, about 144 blocks per day are mined on average. And since this last halving, there are 6.25 Bitcoins produced per block. So 144 blocks times 6.25 Bitcoins is about 900. That's the average amount of new Bitcoins mined per day. Wow. So if there are only 900 Bitcoins being produced per day, and the price of one Bitcoin each is right now about 18,600 per Bitcoin, how many Bitcoin are being scooped up right now, and who's buying? For the first time in Bitcoin's history, this bull market is being driven by institutional buyers. This Bitcoin shortage is real, and it's institutions like PayPal, like Square Cash App, like Grayscale, who are right now buying up all the Bitcoin. Just in the last 24 hours, with the Bitcoin price already at about $18,000, Grayscale added over 10,000 Bitcoin to their holdings. We can see this. This is confirmed as the price is being driven up. Grayscale, remember, there's only 900 Bitcoin per day that gets mined into existence. Grayscale bought over 10,000 in one day. The on-chain data confirms it. Well, what about Square and PayPal? Where's the on-chain data to back that up? In a recently published letter to investors from Pantera Capital, we have that data. Now, Square's already been pretty public about this. Square's Cash App is estimated to be buying around 40% of all newly issued Bitcoin. And to give you a time frame, this is after about 30 months of operation. So if 900 Bitcoin are created a day, they're buying 40% of that to themselves. And again, they're not buying every day, but if you average it out, with Square, it's about 40% of newly issued Bitcoin. Now, just in the last month, with PayPal, there are now 300 million people just got instant access to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few other cryptocurrencies. And they haven't really given exact numbers on what they're buying. But again, it's all on-chain data, and we know who their infrastructure provider is. PayPal's crypto infrastructure provider is Paxos. Prior to PayPal's integration of crypto, Itbit, which is the Paxos-run exchange, was doing a fairly constant amount of trading volume. So Paxos, a crypto brokerage for enterprises, before PayPal, doing a fairly level amount of volume. And then since PayPal, when PayPal went live, volume started exploding. The increase in itBit volume implies that just in the last 4 weeks of going live, PayPal is already buying almost 70% of the new supply of Bitcoins. Well, 70% plus Square is about 40%, means PayPal and the Cash App are already buying more than 100% of the newly issued Bitcoins being mined every day. There are simply not enough Bitcoins to go around. Square and PayPal take over 900 Bitcoins per day. Grayscale just added 10,000 Bitcoins in the last 24 hours. The Bitcoin price has been exploding in this last month because of things like this. So, as a Bitcoin investor, as a hodler, what does this mean to you? It simply means that this liquidity crisis, this bull run, is largely institutional driven, which we've talked about, we know. But more importantly, the meaning to me is that these institutions, Grayscale, PayPal, they're not waiting for a dip. An $18,600 Bitcoin for them is cheap because they have long-term perspective. And don't get me wrong, 30% pullbacks, for example, are very common in bull markets. I would love a 30% pullback to buy the dip, but this simple just supply and demand keeps pushing the price up. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Everybody leave a comment right now, leave a comment, and let's keep going and talk about the daily news. As of today, or I should say within the past 30 hours, around 80,000 Ethereum have been deposited to the Ethereum 2.0 contract. So we're getting closer to the potential launch of Ethereum 2.0, and as of today, more than 6,000 validators have staked a total of almost 200,000 Ethereum to date. Of course, this amount is approximately 37% of the staking goal of Phase 0. So what this means to you is that with about 10 days left, we still need about 63% more Ethereum staked. So we're getting there. And really, whether we get there or not, next piece of news, the US government is using Ethereum either way. The US government to use Ethereum-based stablecoin USDC to bypass Venezuela's Morado. So the US government will officially be using USDC. Circle, which along with Coinbase issues the USDC stablecoin, announced today that it has coordinated with the US government and a Latin American crypto exchange, AirTM, to route aid to Venezuelan healthcare workers through the Latin American country's government in exile. So basically, they're using it for cross-border payments. Because here's the situation. Venezuela, right now, actually has two presidents. In one camp, there's Nicolas Maduro, the socialist leader who's been in power since 2013. And in the other, there's Juan Guaido, leader of the National Assembly, which declared him acting president recently, January 2019. And this new guy is the one that's actually recognized as president, because over 50 other countries recognize him as the legitimate ruler, including the US, which simultaneously slapped sanctions on the Morado regime. And as a result, Morado has limited Guaido's access to cash. So that group in Venezuela is having trouble getting cash, and their healthcare workers are having trouble getting the help that they need. So the system will work as follows. The U.S. Treasury and Federal Reserve releases seized funds to the Guaido government's account at a U.S. bank. The Guaido government then uses those funds to mint USDC, and then the USDC is sent to their local exchange, AirTM. And then Venezuela is able to get some money. According to Circle, this will bypass the controls imposed by Morado over the domestic financial system and put millions of dollars of funds into the hands of people fighting for the health and safety of the people of Venezuela. So this is big. Let me know what you think about this, but this is Ethereum being used. This is cryptocurrency stablecoins being used in partnership with the US government for real world utility. Very cool. And that is the video. My name's Austin. See you tomorrow.